The Big Lockdown is an easy-to-learn card game that combines luck and strategy. In this video we're going to show you how to get set up, how to play, and most importantly, how to win. The Big Lockdown has 3 decks. When all of the cards from any one of these have been drawn, it is the last turn of the game. The player with the most valuable stockpile of supplies at the end is the winner. However, get infected before the end and you're out. But don't worry, games are quick, so you'll be playing again in no time. It is all about balancing risk, but we'll get to that. To set up the game, give each player their starting stockpile, using cards from the supplies deck. These should be a food and a toilet paper card worth 1, and an infection prevention card worth 2. Shuffle all the decks well and place them on the table. Each player should also get a location status card, with the side showing indoors face up. And that's it. Let's play. The last player to have washed their hands goes first. On their turn, each player must perform 3 actions. Drawing a card and playing a card are each 1 action. In this video we're going to comment on a few key moments in the game to make sure you have learnt everything you need to be able to play the Big Lockdown yourself. The player starts the game by drawing from the indoors deck, as this matches their location status. The stock-up card the player has drawn allows them to draw supplies when needed. Although they could keep it in their hand and save it for later in the game, the player has chosen to use the stock-up card straight away, and this is his second action. The next card the player has drawn is an impact card. All impact cards must be dealt with immediately. In this case, the player is forced to discard 1 toilet paper card from their stockpile. Now the player has completed their 3 actions, they must declare whether they are going to be drawing from the indoors or outdoors deck on their next turn. Choosing which deck you draw from is a key part of the strategy, as this is where you balance the risks you're going to take. The indoors deck, representing staying at home, is safer from infection and gives you defensive cards, but will drain your stockpile quicker. Outdoors you are more likely to be exposed to infection, but will be able to gain supplies and the ability to steal from your opponents. Let's look at another turn later in the game. The player has previously collected an effect card, and is now playing it as the first action on their turn. The loot food card they have played allows them to take an opponent's food. Their opponent, however, chooses to use a reflection card that they have been keeping in their hand. This allows them to reflect any card played against them. In this case, it allows them to take any player's food card instead of losing their own. The player could use their nice try card to prevent the effects of the reflection, but choose not to, as they wish to save the card for another turn. The next card the player draws is an infection card. If the player had infection prevention in their stockpile, this would be discarded and they would be safe. Unfortunately they don't, so they draw the next card from the same deck to see if they have been infected. If their test is positive, meaning they have been infected, they are out of the game. In this case, however, their test is negative, meaning they have not been infected. They keep the card and continue their turn as they still have 1 action left. This player uses that final action to play a stock-up card from their hand. And then they go indoors where it is safer for someone without infection prevention. Let's take a look at how the game ends. In this game, 1 player has been knocked out before the end by an infection card, leaving 2 players still going. The player draws the last card from a deck. However, they can still have 1 action on their turn, which they must take if they can. They use their last turn to play a nosy neighbour card that they have been holding on to. Using this allows them to force their opponent to lose all of the toilet paper that they have been stockpiling. All the cards from 1 deck have been drawn, and there are no actions left to take. The game is done. Let's see who's won. The players add up the numbers on their supplies to find out the value of their stockpile. we have a winner. So now you know how to play the Big Lockdown, but here are a few quick tips to help you win. It is better to try to hold on to your stock-up cards until later in the game. Look at the backs of the cards in your opponent's hands. You can use the colours to work out what defensive and offensive cards they might have. You're going to have to take risks at some point during the game if you want to win. Choose when you take them wisely.